What did you experience?
It was like being in a dark space. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't see. It was just me, my thoughts, and my despair for millennia. I was in a dark place. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't see. It was only me, my thoughts, and my despair. Then I said one word, abyss.
And after that, there was only a gunshot. But this story did not end with death. This was where the demon night was about to return.
At first, looked like an ordinary luxury dinner. The room was filled with politicians, businessmen, and members of the P&P Technology board. Everyone was laughing, drinking, and celebrating. But among the champagne and whiskey, there was one glass that should not have been there. Inside that glass was a thick black liquid. It did not move like wine. It moved like something alive. Then, without warning, the black liquid began to change, and in seconds, it turned into blood. The men looked into their glasses, and what they saw was not their reflection. They saw themselves dead. Their own bodies, their own faces, their own ending, staring back at them.
Then the lights went out. The music stopped. The laughter disappeared. And in the middle of the hall, surrounded by bodies, stood a dark metal figure. The Demon Knight.
Everyone in the hall was dead, except one. A severed head was still alive, still breathing, still moving its eyes in terror. And beside it stood Hans, a scientist in a white lab coat.
Hans pulled out a gun. He aimed at the last living piece of that man and fired. The head stopped moving. The Demon Knight vanished. And when the lights came back on, the luxury dinner had become a massacre.
After the massacre, the story moves to Pepe, a retired scientist and businessman, living alone in a room full of old things. His life looks paused, like he has already left the world behind. The television keeps talking, politics, crisis, fear, but Pepe barely reacts. Even the world falling apart feels distant to him. Nothing on that screen can reach him. That name was not just a company. It was his past. Next day, Patrick meets Pepe in a public place. They were old partners, but the silence between them says everything. Patrick tries to act casual. Pepe does not trust it. Then Patrick admits why he is really here.
The murders are connected to P&P Technology.
He claims spies stole a dangerous proprietary technology, but his story sounds too clean. Pepe knows Patrick can hide something.
Patrick turns the fear into pressure. If the project is not controlled, innocent people may suffer. Pepe listens, but he can hear the manipulation. Patrick is not telling him everything. Then Pepe asks the question Patrick does not want to answer. If a man had the power to take any life, what would he do with it? Patrick takes Pepe into a hidden metal lab. The moment the lights switch on, the place feels wrong. It is not just science, and it is not just ritual. It is both.
The walls are covered with research. Beside the history are occult symbols,
Demonology notes, genetic formulas,
and vials filled with black liquid.
The walls are covered with research about Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, better known as El Cido. Patrick explains that years earlier, in Valencia, Spain, the team discovered something
no human being was ever meant to study. They called it the Demon Knight Project. And their claim was insane. Hans believed curses had a chemical structure. He believed evil could be mapped, isolated, and condensed. In their files, they called it the evil gene.